want to, subjugate the society, you have to be a female. If you want to be a feminist, you have to be female, because they feel that it has nothing to do with male, and then they say that, it is always a white man or white women job. But in reality, when you go deep dive into these kind of a thing, you will find that there is a problem, and that problem creates a question that what feminism actually is, if it is not none of these. Why the question is not coming? Yeah. So, if feminism is not those kind of statements, so what is to be a feminist? What is the actual meaning of a feminism? Here we have a clear-cut meaning of feminism, the way feminists, all kind of feminists around the world expecting and they are interpreting feminism. So feminisms, this is very important for us to understand that when we talk about feminism, it is not about one ism or one statement, but it inculcated various dimensions and various forms of feminism itself. It's fundamentally a movement for justice, equality, and human rights. So initially when we talk about and try to understand what feminism is, it has its origin again all kind of injustices happening in a society. So it is considered as a political movement, and later on people have created some theories out of it. It focuses, the primary aim of feminism is to, dismantling the patriarchal structure. So what is patriarchal structure? And that is what I feel that important to us to understand, that the society in which we are living, that society has a certain norm and structure we all have to follow. If you are not following those kind of structure, you are not even considered the part of that society. So this patriarchal structure has a hierarchy and set framework for each and every person who lives in a society. So it affirms women's autonomy, agency, and freedom from oppression. So the most important thing, feminism always talk about the women's agency and freedom. It is not the, it doesn't mean that they are not talking about men, they are not talking about other entity of the society. But the point is, if you see the evolution of humanity, if you see the way human beings are involved, it is always observed that women has a subjugated position, and that is why they have more problem in comparison to men. So feminists always say that men have their problem and women have more problems. So they are trying to address those kind of a problem into it. So then they raise voices against all kind of social, political, and personal discrimination based on the classification of gender, race, caste, class, and you can say religion. So when we talk about these kind of classification, the important thing is that the feminists are saying that these classifications are not just confined to women. These classifications are also completely dependent and related to men also of the society. And I would say children also of the society. And any of the set who is segregated and who is, oppressed in a society. So feminism is not a monotheistic ideology, because it is related to it is related to a woman of color, it is related to women of color, it is related to environment. We have a ecofeminism, we have different kind of discipline which talks about feminism, and we try to understand feminism with that perspective. So the main important thing is the diversification of the feminism, and that diversification is always contextual. Means it has a context when we talk about, when we utilize that perspective. So primarily feminism is a perspective to understand gender and sexual interpretation and sexual relationship in a society. So here it is too important to understand what gender and sex for feminist perspective, and how feminism understands gender and sex. So sex is always seen as a biological difference between male and female, and now we have a third kind of sex, that is called LGBTQ community people. And these kind of difference, feminists are saying that it's very natural to our society, and it is very natural to us to accept it. There is no problem in that. But on the basis of that kind of interpretation, on the basis of this kind of biological definition, when you set the role of all sexes, that creates a problem. So here, the gender problem is not just saying that gender has fixed a certain kind of framework and society has fixed a certain kind of framework and asking you, not even asking you, it is trying you to fit into this framework, but it is primarily based on masculinity, femininity, completely opposite segregations, right? So masculinity, femininity, when we talk about, masculinity is always defined as hard man, interpretation, and femininity is always defined as kind women interpretation. On the basis of these two things, they have made a different kind of, I would say, traits which are always seen as important to be a man and to be a woman. So if you are a man, you have a certain kind of trait, you should have certain kind of trait. If you are a woman, you should have certain kind of trait. Feminists are saying, but in reality, if you go deep dive into these kind of trait in order to understand the nature of male and female or masculine and feminine, so you will find out there is no fixed segregation between these two sexes and these two genders. A female can be aggressive and a male can be emotional, right? But the thing is, the entire society is defining male and female traits and their work on the basis of this kind of segregation, and that is problematic for feminists. So it is not just based on the way you need to and you require to work in a society, but also the educational sector, all kind of discipline, all kind of engagement, the intellectual engagement and workable engagement are based on this kind of segregation. So in philosophy, we have so many important philosophers, and those important philosophers has impacted the society so well. And these philosophers, you could not even expect, if a person is so intellectual to understand the society, they are also giving a statement which is based on this kind of segregation. So those segregation, this is one of the very important and impactful philosopher of his time known as Hegel. And the way he has explained women's capacity and men's capacity on the basis of masculinity and femininity is, remarkable at that time, and it has influenced the entire society. And not only Hegel, but one of the very important philosopher of his time, Aristotle, you must have heard about, or Immanuel Kant, I would say, Rousseau, they have the same kind of opinion about women, that they cannot be the rational being. Even if Aristotle is one of the person who has made the statements that man is a rational animal, and we take that terminology man as a neutral terminology. If you go deep dive into Aristotelian philosophy, he is the person who was the follower of single sex model, and that single sex model says that there can be only one gender, there can be only one sex, and that is male sex, and when there is mutilation happen in this sex, it becomes female. So there is always a male sex model accepted by that time, and female is the mutilated male, not a female actually. That was the definition he has given. And not only Aristotle, the other philosophers also have this kind of interpretation about women, because women, for them, is primarily related to body, and that body has two work, pleasure and procreation. So to answer these philosopher or thinker of the world, we have many important female philosopher as well as male philosopher. They were called as feminist philosophers. So if somebody would say that feminism is always related to female, it is not the reality. There are so many male feminists as well who has taken part into this kind of movement, and they have given full support to the female colleagues and female friends in order to remove all kind of discrimination oppression happening in a society. So Simone de Beauvoir is one of the pioneer philosopher of her time, who has done a remarkable contribution into the field of feminist interpretations. Now here the important thing is that after understanding the little bit what feminism is all about, we need to reclaim what feminism is, and this is the high time to understand the value of feminism, and on the basis of that value we need to give chance to all the dimension of human life to accept and interpret things through the feminist perspective, because feminism is something which does not talk about what women are doing primarily, but they talk about what the men and women together doing for the society. So feminism should be it should be given the chance to interpret moral, intellectual and political stances of the society. There should be a place for that. Then they say that affirm the term as a commitment to justice. It is not a hostility towards any of the group of the society, but it talks about the justice and freedom. It tries to claim the justice and freedom given to each and every group of the society, and encountering the reclaiming of the world in academia, culture and personal context. Means feminism should not be confined to women, but it should be part of all kind of cultural dimension and academia. So it is the high time feminists say that feminism must be contextual, rooted on the lived experience of a people, the way people are living into this society and the way they are experiencing their existence into the society, and also it should be based on the community need. So if you see the way they are reclaiming feminism, it means that feminism is an integral part of the society, and this integral part of the society should be given that kind of importance. This is what feminists are saying. Yeah. So the misnomer, when we talk about this misnomer, is not a feminism itself, but the way it is distorted in a society, the way it is misinterpreted in a society. The real feminism is always beyond that what the people are trying to say about it. So feminists believe in equality, dignity and freedom from all kind of oppression and discrimination. This is the main agenda of feminism, not about just it is related to female discrimination and oppression, but all kind of discrimination, oppression happens in a society. So unraveling the misnomer, when we talk about it, is it is opening the path of all kind of interdisciplinary, I would say, discussion and dialogue, so that we can sit together and resolve such kind of a problem and transform the society accordingly. So here is the Elizabeth Gross very important quote, and with the help of this quote she is trying to say that the feminist theories does not simply aim to reveal what is wrong with or false about patriarchal theory to replace one truth with another. It aims to render patriarchal systems, methods and presumptions unable to function, unable to retain their dominance and power. It aims to make clear how such a domination has been possible and to make it no longer viable. So this is the main purpose of feminism, and this is what feminists are continuously trying to say to the world, that we are here to resolve the problem, we are here to raise voice against all kind of discrimination happening in a society, rather than just seeing as unhappy women who are seeking unable to seek a man. So this is my submission. So this is Simone de Beauvoir and Sartre. They were the wonderful companion, and they help each other throughout their life. And yeah, thank you so much. So it's a brief interpretation and brief presentation about the feminism, and I hope I made sense to you. If you have any question and any suggestion, you are welcome for that. Yeah. Yeah, this is very important question, because human rights, feminism is a part of human rights, I would say, but human rights is a general terminology. Means it encompasses everything, whereas when we talk about feminism, it is primarily gender-based issue. It talks about gender-based issues. So there is a difference between these two, although feminism is a part of human rights. Yeah. It's a part of political science as well as sociology too. But the basic difference between all these disciplines and feminism is that feminism is primarily talks about all kind of gender related. The gender is the center of feminist discourses. Yes. Gender equality. Gender equality and feminism. Feminism is a theory and movement, whereas gender and equality, when we talk about, these are the virtues. Means equality is a virtue, gender is a way society perceives us, society defines us. So there is, yes, difference between these three. Yeah. Western Front? Forest. Okay, I would say my own supervisor is a great feminist thinker. He is no more, but yeah, he was a feminist, Professor Satyapal Gautam. And we have another feminist, Purushottam Bilmoria. He is a very good friend of mine right now, teaching in California University, wonderful, great feminist. So there are so many men actually who are supporting feminism in that way. Yeah. Yes, Zenat, yeah. This is what I would say, and I had a very important discussion with Arman that when feminism has origin from West, and at that time it was a theory, feminism, because it started from white women and they started raising voice, especially in UK. Wollstonecraft is one of the great feminists of her time, and she was very smart in order to make the people understand in a hidden manner that women's participation. Women share 50% and more than 50% population of the society, but they are not allowed to contribute in that way. She was smart enough to make the state realize that she should be entering into job and education. But at the same time, when you are absolutely right, Zinat, that if we see the women around the world, every state, every country, women has their own problem, and those problems are related to the way they have their experience about their situations and surroundings. So feminists are saying that earlier it was very much confined to West, but now we have different feminists, and that's why they are talking about the contextualization of feminists. Means if I am from East and I belong to India, so we have Indian feminism, and that feminism is very much related to the women, their problems primarily associated with India and Indian situation. So in that way, I would say that we have number of feminists nowadays. And those feminism are primarily talking about a particular area of discipline and society. So we have feminism related to science, we have a feminism related to mathematics as well, so and medical sciences as well, because feminism primarily talks about the way we think. It provides you the perspective, and that perspective is not just confined to the way women think about something, but it tries to provide a holistic, I would say, perspective which inculcated the women and men's thinkings together. So this is another very important misnomer, that it's just a women's perspective. It is not a women's perspective per se. But feminist thinkers have observed that the knowledge and the discipline, all kind of knowledge branches which are available to us, it has a certain kind of discrimination. Women are intentionally, they were removed, and the research is happened. So they were trying to, they are trying to revaluing all kind of researches and they are trying to provide a holistic approach so that we can have a complete holistic truth. That's the thing. Yes. Yes, definitely. Means recently I was exploring one of the article. I don't have much expertise in Islamic feminism, but yeah, there are some Islamic feminist thinkers who are exploring the egalitarian, just interpretation of Quran in order to make the patriarchal system understand that Quran is not a patriarchal text. So we do have Islamic feminists, and they are continuously working in this area. Uh, so it cannot be seen as a conflict, but I would say it's an evolution of feminism itself. Means feminism itself is evolving day by day. So there may be certain kind of biases towards the interpretation, but now feminist is one of the area where feminists are open to accept and analyze what is happening at a real plane. So I don't think so there is a conflict. It is primarily based on the context, situation, time and space. So no, I don't think so. I don't think so. But I don't know, I may, explore more on this, because I cannot claim that I have a complete understanding over Islamic feminism. I'm still exploring. Yeah. Yes. Role? Not pro. Hmm. Preventing feminism. Why do you? Okay. So, yeah, this is very important thing. You mean to say that why women are not accepting that feminism is important to them? This is something like actively, yeah. Preventing to be called as feminist, or yeah, yeah. Yes, that's very true. It is something which has happened to me also. Yeah. Yeah, so the thing is, feminism is still connected to a kind of stereotype. It's a taboo in a society, various society, and it creates a threat to the society that, okay, we have oppressed women or particular, particular group and particular group of a society, and now there is a view which is raising voice against it. So I feel that this voice is not welcome in a society, and that is why it is not just the society is trying to prevent this kind of perspective, but women itself think that if they follow feminism, they may be not accepted by the society itself. So people may have a misnomer towards, and such kind of stereotype towards that woman as well. And this is I think one of the reasons that even if women and men are thinking that what feminism is trying to do to the society is important, they are trying to escape from this tag that they should be called as feminists. This is one of the reasons that they may be totally castigated sometime and not accepted by the society. To some extent they understand, to some extent they are not. Like I do know, means my own known people, women also, they don't understand what feminism really is, but the way they are pretending to be feminist is creating another kind of stereotype in a society. They say that we hate men because men are stupid, they are nonsense, they are suppressing women, all such kind of a thing. But the real feminism is not talking about like that. So the thing is, lack of knowledge about feminism plays a very important role, the way people are understanding what real feminism is. Yeah. So when I teach my student about feminism, especially the boys always ask in the first class that why it is for us, why us, why ma'am you are teaching feminism to me. So I need to make them understand that it is not just for a female, but it is for male primarily to understand this thing.
Primarily up to women to show
Yeah.
be fantastic role models and so well balanced and are so that epitomize feminism in such a positive way that they do take societies and communities and
forward
with them. And then the problem is that there aren't enough of these kind of very powerful, enigmatic women who really are the flag, who show what it's all about.
I would say there are women, they are charming, enigmatic, and they are doing a wonderful job in this area. But the point is why it is not getting so popular is that because of the situation women have in a society, right? So as I said that it's a stereotype, there are so much stereotype attached to feminism itself, and women herself are not ready to be tagged as feminists. Even if they know that feminism is all about equality and justice against discrimination and suppression, and because of that situation, the secondary situation of the women in a society, even if they want to do so, they don't have much courage to come out and accept that. So in this scenario, I would say that men who are always they hold the higher position should stand behind women, that I am there, you do your work and I'll support you. So feminists always say, and I do believe, that it is not just a women's responsibility towards the society to make society as a beautiful place where everybody sit together and have a tea and coffee together without any segregation, but it's a man's responsibility as well to support their women to go forward and promote this ideology, which is, I feel, that very important for us to have it in a society. Male? Okay, we have male and female both together. So Simone de Beauvoir is one of the wonderful women. One should read her, and because she is very liberal kind of a feminist, and her partner Job Sartre. But I really like J.S. Mill. J.S. Mill is one of the male feminists of his time, and he has today. So you must be Judith Butler. She is a Butler. She lives in UK and she is a fantastic feminist of our time. Butler lives in UK only. Yeah. And the other one is from UK, is Alison Stone. She is in Manchester University right now teaching. Fantastic feminist. So she was earlier she was anthropologist and then historian. Now she became feminist. So she. Mm-hmm.
And when you say that men should, step up and promote,
that idea.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand that you need feminist who looks like you.
Well, not like me.
I mean to say that the common people can accept that. Oh, I know that. Yeah. Yeah, you can connect with. Yeah. Yes. There are, I would say, there are many women and men. They are not academician, but they are doing, work and continuously doing work in this regard. There are some social work. Who? Yeah. She is.
And would you say she's a good example?
She is one of the examples, I would say, but I could not say that she is the good example. She is one of the examples. Uh, the irony is that if you talk about these feminists, means we have feminists in Bollywood, we have feminists in Hollywood, and I would say one of the feminists, my favorite feminist Hollywood star, uh, Titanic actress. I think everybody knows Kate Winslet. She's a wonderful feminist. Kangna Ranaut. Kangna, you are talking about? Kangna Ranaut. Yeah, she is one of the examples of, not the good one, because she she to some extent I would say she has her own uh, agendas and presuppositions she believes, but I really respect her, really appreciate her, the way she put herself in front of whenever all kind of discrimination. She has a strong voice. So she is, yes, she is one of the feminists of her own type. Yeah. So there are women and men, they are continuously raising, but when we talk about feminism, I feel that it is important to us to, understand what really feminism means to the society, and that creates a gap between the people who think that they are feminists, but actually they are little bit feminist, but not real feminists. This is the problem I feel. So Kangana is one of my favorite actors, but when sometime I listened to her and found out, oh, she should not be saying like that, she should not be doing like that. So it is not a real feminism. So in order to understand what real feminism is all about and what they're trying to do, we need to have some study about feminism, the sacrifices they have, given to the contribution they have given to the society should be, acknowledged and should be, read. And unless you study them, you won't be able to, I feel, understand what really feminism is trying to say. So that's a gap we need to fill. So that is why whenever we talk about feminism, we always feel that, okay, we should read somebody first. And this is what I always say to my students. First you read and then ask why you are here. So reading is important when it comes to feminist interpretation. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, this is what. Yeah, yes, this. Yes. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. You are absolutely right. But what I am trying to say is that feminism is one of the perspective. It provides you the perspective. It provides you a thinking to think in a egalitarian way. It doesn't mean that they are saying that only feminists should do these things to the society, but they are saying that we are also here to contribute to the society. We are also here, so they are making their space within this broader world, that we also have this egalitarian perspective to talk about and address those kind of issues. And that is why reading feminism is important. But yeah, you are absolutely right. It's a responsibility, and feminists are continuously saying that it is not just, it should not be just confined to feminists, but it's a responsibility of the entire society and the world to take care of these kind of problems and address these kind of problems and get rid of it. So they are saying that. Kangna. Kangna. Yeah. That's what I, responded to him, that she is one of the feminists, but not a good one, because she has her own reservations. So sometimes she is wonderful. She has, strong voice against the discrimination, but at the same time she has some kind of a thing which should not be done in that way. So she is one of the example, but not the good one, I would say. Yeah. Yes.
I think when it comes to feminism, in a way, it's more a man's responsibility. And the reason I say that is when we talk about being brought in a world that is being discriminated against or is oppressed in any way, it's usually the other people rather than that group of people who are trying to help them in a way. So, like, for example, when we talk about people who are, for example, in Palestine, right? The people in the world who have that power or who have that voice are the people who are trying to fight for them because they aren't able, as much as they
Definitely,
can,
definitely. Yes, yes.
When we're talking about discrimination against women, obviously we're doing our part, but it's massive role on men because not only should they be fighting for the other half of the population who also are their mothers and their sisters and their daughters, but also they, in this society, they have that power and they have the voice more than that we do, and they're taken more seriously in a way than we do because, well,
Yeah, that's yeah. That can be one of the ways of thinking and one of the ways of understanding the situation. But feminists are saying that even if men has a, we feel that, and we have observed also that they have a little bit higher status in a society, but it is important to, do things together, work together. So the togetherness of male and female is important. And that is what they are continuously, giving emphasis, that we should go together, we should work together, and we should understand the problem together. And that plays a very important role. By, if you are saying that you are at the top and you should do, much more than what I am doing, cannot solve the problem. It is like you are at the top, take me to that position and we will do the things together. This is what feminism is all about. So they have the problem of this hierarchy. It is not about the hierarchy at all, that like here men is at the top, now it is the turn of a woman to be at the top. No, they are not talking about that. They are talking about the egalitarian approach, equal opportunity for men and women, so that they can solve the problem together. This is what you are. Yes, yes.
They're very comfortable in the role that they've been given by the society or their culture, or they think that like they genuinely believe this is my purpose. So like in some ways those people don't feel like they need feminism or that there's anything to fight against because they feel like they're happy in a way.
Yeah, this is very important question, and I'm so glad that you asked this question. Such a, daughter of Zenith. So when I joined my feminism PhD graduation program, and my supervisor asked me, do you like feminism? I said, not at all, I don't like feminism. They all are women, they are grouping together and crying that something bad is happening to us. This was my observation, and I answered to my supervisor that I love patriarchy, and he said, why? Because I said, it has given so much privileges and so many perks to women. We don't have to go out, we have to have just husband card, credit card, and do the shopping, come back and have a wonderful lavish dinner, some cook will prepare for you. So what is the problem? I love patriarchy. And then my supervisor said that you actually don't know how patriarchy is really exploiting you. Means it may give you so many perks, but at the same time it takes away your identity. You feel that you are happy, but what you are paying for that happiness, you are giving your identity. So that you need to realize that what's sacrificing you, right? So, and this is one of the reasons that feminists are continuously saying that women should come out from their immanence, right? So until and unless the immanence means their domestication, the domestication we have with women. So they should come out from that domestic plane and, see the world, face the harshness of the world. So I do remember when my father was alive and I was interested to do some job or something like that. I belong to a Muslim family. So I said, Papa, I want to do some job. And my father has a very typical answer. You don't need job. You don't have to study more. You are a beautiful girl. I'll marry you a handsome man and you will have a wonderful life. Why you are going to spoil your beauty and all such things? So this was the answer my papa was given, and I would say that all the papas are like that to some extent, but I had a different kind of a mindset, and I said that I have to beg all the time. I have to ask for the money and every permission to my husband if I don't have my own money. So it is the realization, and this realization only can happen when you read feminism and when you see how the world is, working. So, yeah, feminist means women in general have this kind of perception which needs to be, broken. That is that I would submit. But this is very important question you have asked. Thank you.
I'll end with the last question then, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I know we mentioned Islam and feminism, but I was wondering, based on the experience and research, because I feel that we use Islam to say, oh, Islam is a wonderful religion, so many rights to women. But in the way it is being practiced, preached is very patriarchal. So every time we want to stop women from doing something, like, I'm not saying that God is saying it. So as a woman, you feel like, well, I can't argue with God. So unless you yourself kind of have that knowledge or get that knowledge to kind of understand religion better, which is in itself an obstacle because the women wanted to study, religious studies. Maybe in the West, it's like, now we have,
No, everywhere it is like that. Religion is a very important culprit of, enslaving women. It is interpreted in such a way. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if a woman wants to go and, do higher Islamic studies and go to the whole time, Iran or Iraq, whatever, the biggest obstacle there would be men stopping, like, well, this is not an environment, for women to be around. So you can't get that knowledge. You need to stand up and say, actually, this is not what religion is saying. This is different.
Interpretation of the patriarch. Very true, very true.
And they have on their way of seeing things, they have their way of
Interpreting the Quran.
from their point of view. So I feel like, I don't know whether there's how much truth there is for feminism or how much harder it is because it's not just fighting the men.
Not very much hard.
To say that, you can't stand up against
A wonderful observation, Zinat, because religion, for a long time, religion has been used to subjugate women and enslave women, and this is one of the things feminists have realized, and they have given their own interpretation to all the religion. I know one of the very important Christian feminist, Parizan, and Parizan is a feminist who has given a feminist interpretation of Bible, and when you read that interpretation, it is fascinating, because the way each and every mythology she has interpreted in a positive way, egalitarian way, it should be appreciated, right? So in Islam, there are feminists who are doing such kind of a thing. They have their own interpretation. The feminist interpretation means egalitarian interpretation about the Quran. And now we are living in a technological world. Come on, everything is available online. You can join courses to learn that language and understand, develop your own understanding about Quran itself and give your own interpretation. So nowadays it is not that hard, Zinat. Earlier it was, I would say.
I mean, more in the sense of the knowledge being recognized. So
it should be recognized, yes.
having the same authority or weight as somebody else. So for example, I'll tell you, 2 weeks ago we had a talk here that was given by a woman. And in the crowd we had, for those who are here, we had 2/3 women and only 1/3 men. So now I don't know
we
whether
have a
that's
good number of men here.
So I don't know whether it was a coincidence or the fact that the speaker was female. I don't know. But these are questions that come to your mind thinking that do subconsciously men, like, and I'm not blaming anybody here, I think it's just the way we've been conditioned by culture, religion, and so on, because I grew up only listening to male speakers, everybody has, and now that we're trying to shift this and have
Yes.
struggle because
It is, Zenith, and you are absolutely right that the way things are, interpreted, and the way things are, people are trying to understand, it may take time. It may take time to, make the people understand that, yeah, this interpretation is also important. But yeah, it takes time, and it is gradually changing. I would say that it is not the earlier condition where you have to struggle, but the first condition is to know your religion through original text. So unless, this is what I am saying, that if you are, Google, doing the Google to know feminism, you are watching YouTube video or all kind of Instagram, reels, you cannot claim that whether they are really saying the right thing about feminism. You have to have the original text with you, right? So it is, educating yourself is very important. If you feel that something is going wrong and something went wrong with the religion, you have to have the text. You have to do certain kind of exercise in order to answer to the world that, see and look, this is not what it means, and you have your interpretation. So we should be, taking the responsibility to work on that, and this is the way we can change the world gradually, right? So I think I have answered the questions to everybody a little bit. Biological makeup, yes. Wonderful, wonderful. This is, are you finished or you are saying no? No, we are not blaming men. Men are fantastic. Why are you saying so? Yeah, Maasai, yeah, they are. Yes. Yeah. I eat first in my family. I also do the same thing. Yeah. You have to be. Yes. No, I'm not taking you wrong. You have such a wonderful question, and I'm just trying to, trying to frame the answer. No, this is wonderful question, and here we need to understand one thing, that it is not. Okay. Let me start with this. Difference feminists are continuously making, and they want us to understand the difference between sex and gender. And when we talk about sex, it is always biological, right? Biological makeup of the men and women. And they say that it might be possible that men are physically stronger. Might be possible. There are women stronger than men as well, right? So men are physically stronger and women are emotionally stronger, right? But the problem is that on the basis of these biological traits, if they are shorter and male are longer and stronger, doesn't mean that you can subjugate somebody, right? The problem comes when Herbert Spencer, one of the great biologist of his time, said that, okay, and he has given the theory of evolution, survival of the fittest, and he said that, okay, we do accept that women have brain and they have reason and they are also rational entity of the society, but the thing is, they have more responsibility towards the nature to procreate, and in procreation they need lot of blood. So if they use their brain, it needs again blood. So they are, threatening the entire species of humanity, okay? And because of that interpretation, I am telling you, my friend, America has stopped women to get education. It's been a very early thing when they have accepted women education. So, and as you know that now it is not a reality that if women are menstruating, they are incapable to use their brain, and if they are using the brain, they are incapable to produce children. So what feminism is trying to say and trying to do is to scrutinizing all the theory. Do you agree with Spencer what he has given at that time? It was remarkable theory, I am telling you, and everybody was influenced. The government was influenced by that theory. So to Darwin, if you see his theory about women, that motherhood is instinctual, and because it is instinctual, every woman should be a mother. But in reality, real world, I don't know your mother really loves you or not. Sometimes it is burden on women, and not every woman, towards the motherhood. It's a very ambiguous thing. Some women like motherhood, they desire a child, and some women don't. It's a burden on them. And that is why feminists are saying that, okay, if you have a biology, it should not be your destiny. If you have a certain kind of biological trait, it should not be defined what you are. So here is the problem, because if society start defining on the basis of their interpretation of biology, as you all know that science, philosophy, these are the subject always seen as universal and non-biased, but in reality they are. So can you say any of the philosopher, I don't know any of the female philosopher of, of their time. There were so many female philosophers, but they were not, they were not recognized by any of the mainstream philosopher itself. So it is not the case that females cannot do philosophy, and they were not doing philosophy by that time, but they were targeted and they were killed. I know one of the great mathematician of the time, Nisha, she was stoned by the entire society because she knew mathematics very well. So there are so many biases always, happen in a society because of certain kind of threat or certain kind of envy related to women itself. So biology need to be, scrutinized. So and what feminists are trying to say that on the basis of your biology, nobody has a right to design your role in a society, and nobody has a right to design your essence in a society. So if I am a woman, I may be a good cook, I may be a bad cook. I can hire a cook if I have a wonderful job, right? So society should not tell me that since you are a woman, you should cook for your husband. My husband can also cook for me, and my husband does it. Although he is a very bad cook, I don't want him to cook, because when he cooks, only he eats, I do not eat. That is why whenever he says that I am going to cook something for you, I always try to, stop him. No, I'll go. It is my dharma and my responsibility. So I have to say these words to stop him to not to cook.
You've worked out a very good strategy.
Now you got my point. Have I answered your question? Yeah, this is the center argument they are giving, that if I am a woman, I can be a good CEO, I can go out, I can have a job, and I can help my family. What is wrong in that? So if you are a man, you can help your wife in cooking and all the, household work without saying that I am helping you, right? So this is what they are trying to say. No, it is not like that. No, we are not saying that you do my work and I'll do your work. It is not like that. We are not saying that.
don't think it's about we want it different. We want it to
I'm not asking you your opinion.
No, no,
I'm just
no. I'm
asking
saying
you generally.
no, but I'm
Yeah.
saying in general. I think everybody should be able to have the choice of doing what they want to do. That's it. Like it's not me saying now. I think like because I don't think anyone's like, oh, well, men should be at home. It should be that if a woman says, I want to be working, and if the man says, I want to be at home, that should not be an issue. I think that's.
It should not be an issue. That's the important point. Yeah.
Kick off the balance where you have a family. Right now, we have 3 kids.
Yeah.
It's different when you don't have kids. So yes, it kick off a different balance when the male sits at home.
Yeah. So it's more like what I'm trying to tell you, that if you like your kids, if you love your wife, you can make a balance. Come on, in a family, you can make a balance, and you can handle things in a very egalitarian manner, rather than just saying that it is your responsibility to take care of children. If both sexes work together.
Do you think the biological makeup of the men, again, it was initial charts, you said this is a male
Traits.
this is a female. Do you think that can be interchanged?
Definitely.
If
These are the man-made traits the society has made, that you should not be emotional. Boys don't cry. Do you think that boys should not be crying, and they should not be emotional? They are emotional beings. You are the best answer for. You don't cry? You do cry. So if society would say that you are not a man because you cry, do you accept that? What I am trying to say is that the work should not be defined, work should not be defined by the society. It should be defined by the male and female together. Means if you are available to take care of your kids, society and your family should not be having any problem. If your wife is available to take care of kids, so to the wife. One should not be saying that, oh, he is a man and washing the dishes. He is a man and he is cleaning the kitchen and cleaning the house. It should not be stigmatized. So if you are cleaning the kitchen, there should not be problem. If your wife is going out and earning for the family, it should not be the problem either. One should not be saying, oh, wife is going out and earning and he is not doing anything. So this kind of a statement is problematic. It should be your own personal thing, and these things should not be defined by the society. This is what they are saying. Have I answered your question or not? So the answer of my title, who is the feminist? I should be answering that we all should be feminist, right? Thank you so much. I hope I have convinced all the guys here to be feminists.
I think these were all
he's the sweetest one. The father will convince.
The problem is that this is self-selecting group.
Okay. Oh.
Before